Hello and welcome to Card Sharks. I'd like to thank Mr. Nate Powley for today's opening poem, and if you'd like to leave an opening poem for the show, leave it in the comments below. Now, on with today's game. Kings and queens will rarely fight you, unless an ace shows up to try and bite you. On Card Sharks! This is the game where a single turn of the cards can win you up to $32,000 in cash. Now, here's your host, the star of Card Sharks, Brandon Scruggs. Welcome once again into another episode of Card Sharks right here at MVG Productions. Glad to have you with us once again. We just got a couple episodes left before we wrap up the season and begin our Tournament of Champions here on Card Sharks, and everybody's jockeying for position to try to make it into the top 8. Will somebody be able to break through? We'll find out in today's episode. But let's meet our contestants for our first game. Starting with our return champion, who's won himself a couple games here now on Card Sharks and is up to a grand total of $6,300. We've got Brody. Brody, welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Brandon.
Brody.
Fantastic. Currently sitting 6th on the top 8 leaderboard right now with a couple wins today. Potentially could move all the way up to 2nd place. You ready to see if you can advance your spot, sir?
I hope so.
All right, well, good luck to you. And playing against you here on this first game of Card Sharks is a newcomer here to the show. Please welcome in Tori. Tori, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right, tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself.
Well, for one, I am a gamer. I love game shows, and I look to make the tournament.
Well, a bold statement with just a few games, so it's gonna definitely take a win on this one to see if you can do it. But
Definitely will, but I'm poised and I'm ready.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Let's get you right into this first game of Card Sharks. You guys know how the game works. Your objective is to call higher or lower than the previous card on the board there. Work your way across the board. If you can do that, you win the game and $250. Takes 2 games to win the match, however. And if you win the match, you go on to the big money cards where you can pay off up to $32,000 in cash. We have yet to give away the big money this season. We want one of you guys to do it.
I'll get you on the leaderboard.
So best of luck to you. We're going to get things started here with a survey question, of course. Whoever wins the survey question gets control of the cards. And we start, as always, with our champion, and that's Brody. Brody, first question goes to you. We asked 100 people, would you marry Donald Trump? How many of 100 people said, yes, they would marry our president right now?
It depends on what kind of woman is pretty much horny for Donald Trump. I'm not sure.
Earlier, I said love has nothing to do with it,
Trump.
but it would be basically for his money.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Sonny. I totally agree with you. I think it's gonna be somewhat of a low number because I'm not sure if there's gonna be a lot of women out there who would marry Donald Trump. I'm probably gonna say about let's say 39.
39 out of 100 said they would marry Donald Trump. Tori, higher or lower than 39?
Lower.
She'll say lower than that. All right, if the answer is lower, Tori, you get to play your cards first. If it's not, Brody will play his cards first. The actual number of people that said they would marry our president, Donald Trump, is 13. It is way lower. And I'm quite happy to see that. Because at least there's some realm of intelligence left in this country. All right. All right, Tori,
So does that mean I'm not intelligent?
I said there's some realm. Yeah. No, you're the one that's assuming that. I just said there's some realm of intelligence because he may be rich, but I'm saying it's not worth the money sometimes. I'm just saying that's my opinion on it. All right, Tori, you get a shot. Take a look. Play your cards first. So let's take a look at your base card. It's a 9.
Oh, I can't change that, can I?
No, actually, you won the question, so you have the right to change that if you'd like.
Change that, please.
All right, we're going to change that 9. That 9 now becomes an ace.
That helps. Lower.
Lower than the ace. It's a 6.
Higher, please.
Going on. Higher than the 6. It's a 9.
Lower.
Risking it again. Lower than the 9. A 2!
Higher.
For
Oh my
game
goodness.
1 and sweep and $500 bonus higher than the deuce. It's a king. He's done it.
Wow.
That's
Tori,
crazy.
that's what you got.
$250 for a win plus a $500 bonus for sweeping all the way across in one turn. Tori's already up 1-0 and has got $750. Brody, he came to play, sir.
Oh my god.
He came to
Yeah.
play.
No, he just got
I don't blame him.
All right, well, good. Well, first
Those
game.
cards
I'm
are
fucking
good
already.
sometimes.
They can be. They
That's what
absolutely.
happens.
Well, we'll see what happens here. We'll go ahead and take those cards down, deal out the cards for game number 2. And we'll get right started in our next round here with the first question going to the challenger, Tori. Tori, we asked 100 people, have you ever fallen out of a tree as a kid? How many of 100 people said yes, they have fallen out of a tree as a child?
Well, when they were a kid, I mean, parenting rules were like non-strict. I mean, so like if you want to go outside and fall out of a tree, you fall out of a tree. But I don't think that's now. I'm gonna say as a kid, it would be 29.
29 out of 100 said that they have fallen out of a tree as a kid. Brody, higher or lower than 29?
Well, Tori is right. The parents wouldn't restrict their kids from going outside playing around the tree. Nowadays they would restrict their kids from going outside playing around the trees. I'm probably gonna say it's gonna be just a little bit higher than that.
A little bit higher than that. We'll see. Well, the actual number of people that said they have fallen out of a tree as a child is 30. It is literally a little bit higher. Tori almost got the answer right on for another $500 bonus there. All right, Brody, this is your chance to get back in the game here. Let's take a look at your base card. An 8, right up the middle.
Change it.
All right, changing that 8. Next card off the top of the deck. The 8 now becomes
Good choice.
a 7. A little
Okay,
bit
that's
better.
it's a little bit better, but let's go higher.
All right, higher than 7. An ace!
Oh yes, nice.
Glorious! Lower.
Going on, lower than the ace. It's a queen!
Lower.
And lower than the queen. A 3!
That helps.
Higher.
So helps.
For game 2 to tie it up, higher than the 3. And ace, he's done it! Wow, and the champion fires right back. It is 1 game apiece. That means we go to sudden death right here. Only one question will decide who gets to play the cards first. So set up the cards for the tiebreaker round. 3 cards for each of you. And the tiebreaker question goes to Brody. Brody, we asked 100 people, do you prefer to write with your right hand? How many of 100 people said yes, they do prefer to write with their right hand?
Oh wow. There's gonna be a lot of people. Well, I know that some people would not very much people would write with their left hand. I mean, some would, but I think they probably would write with their right hand more because if you, let's say you're like signing a signature or just like writing a letter to a personal pen pal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So writing with your right hand is definitely the best way to do it. So I'm gonna say that's gonna be a high number. And no noise. I'm not gonna say that number. I'm gonna say 71.
71 out of 100 said they prefer to write with their right hand. Tori, higher or lower than 71?
Lower. Tad bit lower.
A little bit lower than that. For all important control of the cards, the actual number of people that said they do prefer to write with their right hand is 77. It is not lower.
There we go.
All right, Brody, you've got control of the cards here. I will show you, turn over each of the base cards, then you will decide if you want to play your cards or force Tori to play his. All right, take a look at the base cards here. Brody, your base card, an ace. And Tori's base card, an 8. All right, the option is yours. You can play your ace, call your 2 cards right. If you do, you remain as champion. Make a mistake, Tori becomes the new champion. Or force Tori to play his 8. He calls both of his right. He becomes the new champion. He makes a mistake. You retain as champion. The option's yours.
Well, I do have a glorious card of the ace. But
Oh God.
Tori, the control is in your hand.
All right, Tori, he's forcing you to play it. You must play from the 8. You can't change it. Call both cards right. You become the new champion.
Lower than an 8.
Go on, Rissa. Lower than the 8.
Oh, God.
No, it's a jack, and Brody retains as the champion.
I want to see him. Play out my part.
And congratulations to you, Brody. You won the game, and you are still the champion with $6,800. We'll go on to play the money cards in just a minute. Sorry, we got to say goodbye to you, but you did very well here on the show, sir. You're not leaving here empty-handed. You got $750, and our thanks for playing. We'll have you back on maybe a future episode or next season, all right?
Thank you very much, Ronnie.
All right, and with that said, folks, we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, Brody's going to take a shot at $32,000. We'll do that right after this here on Card Sharks. Welcome back to Card Sharks here with our champion Brody with his 4th win now in a row, up to a nice healthy $6,800. He's ready to add another $32,000 to it. Playing the money cards, Brody. You know how this works, but for those of you who may not have seen this series before, I'll explain this really quick. It starts with $200 of brand new betting money. He can work his way across the bottom row, calling higher or lower, making bets there, until he gets to the second row where he gets an additional $400. Works his way across that middle row there. And then, again, remember, minimum bets of $50 and $50 increments, all the way till you get to the big bet card at the top of the board, where you must bet at least half your money. And, of course, you could change one card on each level with one of the 3 extra cards we dealt on the side of the board. To do a perfect double, all the way to the top of the board, you, sir, can win $32,000. Running out of chances to give it away before the tournament. I want you to be the first one to do it. So are you ready?
Ready.
All right, best of luck to you. Let's go ahead and deal out those cards. And let's hopefully give you away $32,000. Start you with 200. And, of course, here's your first base card for the game. A 7.
Oh. I'm going to change that 7 with number 3.
All right, rough start here, but hopefully a good change here will make it all right. Changing that 7 now becomes a 9. Same thing, other side, sir. You got a 9 and $200.
$50 lower.
All right, minimum bet. I don't blame you here. $50 lower than the 9. No, it's a king. You dropped to 150, but a much better card now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go 100 lower.
All right, $100. Lower than the king. A deuce. Very nice. Up to 250.
Oh, let me think about it. Oh, I know. All of it higher.
I can't lose on a pair here. 250, all of it higher than the 2. It's a 6. Up to $500 there. We move that 6 up to the next row where we're giving an additional $400 in betting money. You now have $900 and a 6, sir. What do you want to do?
Okay. I think I'm going to change that with number 1.
All right, changing it with number 1 this time. That 6 now becomes a 9 again.
Okay, let's go $50 lower.
All right, minimum bet $50 lower than the 9. No, a 10. Down to $850 now. You got a 10.
Okay, let me try $150 lower this time.
Okay, $150 lower than the 10. It's an 8, right up the middle. Back to an even $1,000. You know, horrible, horrible card.
Okay. Don't trust the 8. I'm gonna go $50 lower.
All right, minimum bet again, $50 lower than the 8. No, it's another 10. Down to $950. Some horrible cards this time on the money card. We move that 10 up to the big bet line. It is now time for the big bet. You have $950. You must bet at least $475 on this card.
And I'm gonna change that with number 2.
All right, we want to see a big card here. Give him an ace or a deuce here. Give him a chance to make some money. That 10 now becomes. Oh my God! All 3 of those change cards are god awful. All right, you have an 8. You must bet at least $475 here.
Okay, I'm gonna go. What the heck? $550 lower.
All right. For $550, you will finish with either $400 or $1,500? We have a winner here. You said lower?
Unless it's a
Okay.
pair, that'll be a different story.
Yeah, $550. Lower than the 8. Oh no, it's a 10.
That's okay.
Wow. I haven't seen that many 8s, 9s, and 10s in a game in a while. But you do finish for $400 there, so when we add it to your winnings, that puts you now up to $7,200. And you'll be facing another opponent in just a minute. So we're going to take another commercial break. We'll come back. Brody's got another game to play here on Card Sharks. Welcome back to Card Sharks here. Our champion Brody's got up to $7,200 after some rotten cards and the money cards. Well, hopefully he's going to turn things around as he plays against his next opponent. Our next challenger here on Card Sharks, we got AJ. AJ, welcome back.
Hi, Brandon Scruggs.
It has been a while since we've had it. It's been probably since like 28 or something we've seen you last, but AJ's back with us. As it stands right now, AJ is actually our third-ranked player on the leaderboard right now. But he's looking to maybe try to bump up in these last couple games here, see if he can improve his position, or at least knock Brody out from getting a higher seed. Are you ready to play, AJ?
I'm ready to play.
All right, good luck to you both. Let's play some Card Sharks and get started with our first question to our champion, Brody. Brody, we asked 100 people, would you like to live in a houseboat? How many of 100 people said yes, they would like to live in a houseboat?
And the size of the houseboat. Man, living inside a houseboat. Well, that would be pretty cool. So you can see like the view from the beautiful lakes. The beautiful great outdoors.
Uh-huh.
That wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I personally wouldn't personally live in live in a houseboat. I would just rather live in like a normal house. I'm probably gonna say that it's gonna be somewhere of a mid-low number. I will say around 46.
46 out of 100 said they'd like to live in a houseboat. AJ, higher or lower than 46?
I personally wouldn't want to live in a houseboat because they probably don't have toilets on there.
A lot of the modern ones actually do. It's
really?
literally like a house on a boat.
Yeah. So like you said, Brendan, some modern houseboats that would have toilets.
Yeah. I would go lower in this case because there's maybe some laws preventing that from happening.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll see what it says lower here. The actual number of people that said they would like to live in a houseboat is 33. It is lower.
Right.
All right, so that means, AJ, you get the first crack of the cards here. Let's take a look at your base card. It's a queen.
Lower than that lady.
Lower than the lady. He says it's a 10.
Let's go lower than that 10.
Again, lower than the 10. It's a 3.
3.
Going on higher than the 3. It's a king.
That king.
For game 1 of the match, a $500 bonus, lower than the king. It's an 8. He's done it.
Excuse me,
AJ with the big sweep there, getting $250 and the $500 bonus for sweeping the board. This is going to be the shortest episode of Card Sharks ever at this rate. All right.
Heck, you might even have time for a third game.
That's a possibility. We'll have to check the time and see. But we go on to game number 2 now. AJ's up 1-0. Let's see if he can close it out here with this next question. AJ, we asked 100 people. If I can get the question to come up here. There we go. We asked 100 people, do you like the movie Back to the Future? How many of 100 people said yes, they like the movie Back to the Future?
Who doesn't? I loved Back to the Future when I was a kid. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Walken.
No, Christopher Nolan.
No, Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Chris. I mess up my name so badly.
It's okay, AJ.
I'll say 81.
81 out of 100 said they like Back to the Future. All right, Brody, higher or lower than 81?
Well, there's gotta be a lot of people who love the movie Back to the Future, especially with Christopher Lloyd. He was actually he was actually a great movie actor in those Back to the Future movies. I honestly love Back to the Future, especially with the DeLorean time machine. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna say that's gonna be even higher than that.
So even higher than that. Let's see. The actual number of people that said they liked the Back to the Future movies is 53. It is not higher.
Whoa.
Only about half. I'm kind of stunned to see that on a personal level. All right, AJ, that means that you get control of the card, sir. Let's see if you can close it out here. Your base card this time is a 6.
Change that 6,
all right,
please.
We're changing the 6. Next card off the top of the deck. It now becomes a 9. A lot of 9s today.
Let's go lower than that.
All right, come on, lower than the 9. Oh no, it's an ace. Our first mistake of the day there.
Oh.
Lose that ace there. That means, Brody, you get a free chance to play your base card of a king.
Lower than the king.
Lower than the king. Oh no, another king.
Yeah,
pairs will not do you good in this one here. So we reset there. Both players with their base cards turned over. As we go to question number 2 for this round, that goes to Brody. Brody, we asked 100 people. Have you ever accidentally superglued your fingers together? How many of 100 people said yes, they have accidentally superglued their fingers together?
Could you repeat that question, please? You kind of cut out a bit.
Sorry, yeah, we asked 100 people. Have you ever superglued your fingers together? How many of 100 people said yes, they have superglued their fingers together?
Wow. I'm probably gonna say this. I'm just gonna say 50, right up the middle.
Right up the middle with 50. All right, AJ, higher or lower than 50?
I don't think people would be that stupid to super glue their fingers together, because that will require a hospital visit. I'll go a little bit lower than that.
I'll say even lower than that. All right, the actual number of people who said they have accidentally superglued their fingers together is 72. It is not lower.
Whoa.
A lot of folks a lot of people who are like really crafty and stuff, and they use super glue. Yeah, it drips onto your fingers, and you don't realize it. All of a sudden, you stick 2 fingers together, and there you are.
Right.
It's painful to get rid of. But there's some remedies out there for it. All right, Brody, you're in control. You've got the king.
I'm gonna keep that king, and I'm hoping it's lower this time.
Look, no more pairs now. Lower than the king. It's a 7.
Okay, I'm actually gonna phrase on the 7. Right. I don't trust it.
Phrase on the 7 there. All right, you got a one card advantage over AJ with 2 questions to go, and we move on to our third question, which goes to AJ. Excuse me, AJ. We asked 100 people, do you like to go snowboarding? How many of 100 people said yes, they do like snowboarding?
Who doesn't? If people like to snowboard, they live in the mountains, all that clean, fresh air. I will say 74.
74 out of 100 said they like to go snowboarding. Brody, higher or lower than 74?
Yeah, like AJ said, who doesn't like to go snowboarding? Especially if you're like, you're like the Dudesons who are from Finland, and they go to Lapland, and they go skiing or snowboarding. It's fantastic. I'm actually gonna say that's gonna be a bit higher than that.
I'll say a little bit higher than that. All right. The actual number of people that said they do like to go snowboarding is 53. It is not higher.
Wow.
I've personally never been snowboarding before, so I wouldn't know. All right, AJ, you're in control here, sir. You've got a 9.
Change that 9, please.
All right, changing the 9. Next card off the top of the deck. 9 is now an ace. Lower than the ace. It's a queen.
Lower than that queen.
Hold on, lower than the queen. Oh no, it's another queen.
Oh boy.
Lose both of those there. Brody, a free shot with the 7.
I'm gonna go higher.
Higher than the 7. It's a 10.
once again, I'll freeze there.
Freezing there, inching his way toward the finish line in this first one here. And we're up to our fourth and final question. Someone must win on this play of the cards. And this question goes to our champion, Brody. Brody, we asked 100 people. Here's a question near and dear to my heart. Do you watch pro wrestling on TV? How many of 100 people said yes, they do watch pro wrestling on TV?
Who doesn't watch pro wrestling? Everybody loves watching pro wrestling, especially SmackDown, Raw, WWE. I think there's gonna be a lot of wrestling fans out there who would watch wrestling, like professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Impact Wrestling, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a really high number. I'm gonna say 80.
80 out of 100 said they do watch pro wrestling. AJ, higher or lower than 80?
Lower than that.
You say lower. All right, the actual number of people that said they do watch pro wrestling on TV is 72. It is lower. All right, AJ, that means you have control of the cards, sir. Fourth and final question. So here's the situation. You have an ace. You need 4 cards in order to win this game of the match here. Brody has a 10. He needs 2 cards to win. And tie it up. The option is yours. You want to play it or pass?
I'll pass it to Brody.
All right, Brody, it goes to you at the 10. Call both cards right. You tie up the match, make one mistake, and AJ becomes the new champion. Call it from the 10.
Lower.
Lower than the 10. Oh, no, it's an ace, and we have a new champion.
Good game, Brody.
Congratulations. AJ got $1,000 just playing the money cards in just a minute. But Brody, we got to say goodbye to you, sir, but you've had a pretty good run this time. You leave us with $7,200 in cash. So thanks for playing. And when we come back, AJ's going to go for $32,000 in the money cards right after this. Welcome back to Card Sharks here with our new champion. He got himself $1,000 for the game, and now he's going to take his shot here, see if he can land some more money. Playing our big money cards here. AJ, we already got them dealed out for you. And you know how this works. Again, perfect double, 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 all the way to the top of the board. It's going to get you $32,000 in cash, all right? So best of luck to you. Let's get the game started here. Take a look at your base card you'll be using in this round of the money cards. And it is, a queen.
Good start.
All of it lower.
Going for the gusto. All of it, $200. Lower than the queen. It's an 8. Up the middle, you have 400.
All right. I'll change it with number 2.
All right, change it with card number 2. That 8 now becomes a king.
A king.
All of it lower.
Going for it, $400. Lower than the king. It's a 7. You have $800 and a 7 now.
Let's do 300 higher.
Okay. Won't have the perfect run today, but hopefully a lot of money here. $300 higher than the 7. It's an 8. Good call. $1,100 now. We move that 8 up to the next level. We give you another $400 of betting money. You up to $1,500, AJ, and you have an 8.
Change it with number 2.
You already used 2 on the last one.
Yeah.
You got 1 and 3 left.
Yeah, I changed it with
1.
Number 1? Did you say number 1?
Yes.
Yeah, I said number 1.
All right, change it with number 1. That 8 now becomes a king.
Lower.
How much?
Lower.
All of it. $1,500. Come on, good card here. Lower than the king. It's a 10.
Yes.
Up to $3,000 and a 10.
1,000 lower.
Big bet here. Hopefully it pays off. $1,000. Lower than the 10. Oh, no, it's a king. Drop back to $2,000, but another great card,
That's
AJ.
okay.
All right, let's go all of it lower.
All right, no ace is here and keep you alive. $2,000 lower than the king. Oh, now it's an ace! Oh my
Only
goodness.
card in the deck that can hurt.
I'm so sorry, AJ.
Oh, man.
The one time we don't want to see an ace because we were trying to give away some money, but it happens from time to time. But bad news, I can't give you any money for this round of the money cards, AJ. Good news, however, is you are the champion going into our final episode of the regular season here on Card Sharks. You got yourself $1,000, and we'll see if you can improve your ranking going into the Tournament of Champions, all right, on our next episode, all right?
All right.
All right, I'd like to thank everybody here in the audience for watching and playing along with us. I'd like to thank you guys home in YouTube land for watching another episode of Card Sharks. When we join you next time, it'll be our season finale. Players will be jockeying to see if they can get in to our Tournament of Champions game. We'll see how that turns out. So join us back then on our next episode. In the meantime, between time, if you like this series and you like this episode, click that like button down below. Share the video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel and want to see all the great game shows we have going on here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you never miss all the fun and games going down here at MVG Productions. And until the cards are dealt your way once again and we have our regular season finale here on Card Sharks, I'm your host, Braden Scruggs, saying thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye for now, folks.